All right. Okay. So we're recording now. But basically, what I was saying is we're so great at getting brand partners, or at least the team as a whole, that a lot of times, like, the customer aspect is so important. It builds solid wins for the people involved, right? It's getting these products out there. Man, like in my 10 years of network marketing, Treasure, it is so good to
Brayden,
see.
sit up while you're eating.
Oh, sorry, I'm not muted.
That's okay. In my 10 years in network marketing, I can tell you there's never been a product I've been more proud of and passionate than what we have at Bravenly. And so I know I was chatting with Glenn and some of the other, leaders, and we were talking about, just, man, sometimes I feel like this team, not all of you, like I said, some of you are rocking it, but sometimes we miss the boat when it comes to sharing these incredible products because we're so darn good at the hard part, that we have these incredible products that we share. And here's the thing. For some people, you're like, I'm bringing in the brand partners. But for the average person, a lot of times, yeah, somebody say they're dealing with opposite. That's what I was going to talk about. But for a lot of people, we need to set examples and we need to show what it looks like to bring in the customers. And I think that's really, really, really a powerful thing for us to do. So again, I know it's going to be a mix. Half of you guys are going to be in here like, hey, like I need to figure out the brand partner thing. But I'm just going to say as a whole, and this team, we're really good at recruiting. We're really good at building this badass community. Sorry, the kids are there. I'm working on my language, but we're at this incredible community that we have here, right? And so what we're going to talk about today is ways to do that. And I'm going to learn too. I've gotten out of the rhythm. I'm always talking about business. If you look at my content, what do I talk about, you guys? Talk about the business. And so what do? I get brand partners. We talk about customers, we're going to get customers. There's a balance that we need, okay? And if you think about the success tip set up by the company, what is that? We get 3 new customers each month and 2 brand partners. We're going to get at the top. And you guys been here a year, and I can tell you it's true. It's true. Like that is an incredible success system to follow. So I think that if you look at that, that's very well rounded. And I think that that's what's going to make the healthiest business for all of us. So anyway, all that to say, I'm going to hand it over. We got some incredible people who are going to share, who are really good at getting the customers. I used to be a great customer getter. I'm feeling a little out of practice. So I'm like ready, you guys, get your pen, get ready to write notes. I'm going to write notes. I'm going to learn from these people who are just rocking it with the customers. So Glenn, I think that you set up some of these. So I'm going to pass it over to you so you can go ahead and decide who's talking first.
Okay. Yeah, I took a lot of notes, but I'm going to wait because I'm sure these other people are probably going to cover everything I was going to say. But I'm really excited. First, I'm going to introduce Angela Campbell. Angela, I think, has about 2K PBV already now. Her first month had over 3,500. She's also recruiting. She's doing both sides of the comp plan, but she's had a lot of really great ideas. I've been learning from her. She's a rock star. So that'd be without further ado, I'll introduce Angela.
What's up, you guys? Thanks, Glenn, for that intro for sure. Yeah, I'm excited to chat. Customers is my jam. I know a lot of y'all are super strong on the recruiting side, even though I've been recruiting, a lot over this last month. The customer side is my jam. So I was sitting here, I was thinking like, what all can I share tonight? I've got a lot of notes that I wanted to share, but I'll try and keep it super sweet, and simple and basic and the things that are working. But I wanted to start with why I feel the customer pod, just like Carly said, recruiting is one thing. I feel like, at least for me anyway, duplicating also just customer pod, or customer sales, whatever you want to call it. I'm so used to customer pod. But customer sales there's so much benefit. Glenn is, I always call him, when I'm talking about him, he's the encyclopedia of the comp plan. He's my go-to, and he made a really valid point. There's a lot of money being left on the table by not also sharing the product and, more, and actually customer sales. Like there's a lot of money, you guys, that we can also be making by sharing the product and bringing on customer sales. But on the other piece of it, and something he also pointed out to me too, like it's very beneficial to also balance, to hit these ranks, even on the business side, sometimes we have to make sure that we're balanced as well. So having a good customer pod is a huge benefit for that. But the other thing that I wanted to say before I go into some tips and things that I wanted to share on like how you can go out and start today to go get more customers. The other thing that I wanted to say too is, if you do struggle with recruiting, your customers can also be your best place to go recruit, because think about it. Maybe I personally started as an ambassador. Like I know I wasn't going to be passionate about sharing this unless I love the product first. So I think a place that sometimes, myself included, I forget that we can also recruit from is build customers. Get your customers, get people on the products. Just like Carly said, we have freaking phenomenal products here that I'm so excited about, and get them passionate and love it, and get them great experiences on those. And those also could turn into your best brand partners. So if you struggle with that, that's just a few little nuggets there on that. Like I will say there's Crystal Fuller, who's on here tonight. Like I'll give her a quick shout out because she started as an ambassador too. Had a chat with Glenn and Carly last night and decided, you know what, I'm going brand partner because I'm loving the product, having such a good time. And now I want to be a part of the team. So again, just think, your customer sales could also be your best place to recruit, but how do you go out and get customers? So I'll share some things that I know really work well for me personally, and things that I love to share with my team and help them. The first thing is obviously we don't want to spam, right? Like nobody wants to be spammed. So, that's a given. I think we all probably know that one already. But what I wanted to share and kind of elaborate on that is story sell. Okay, so I did a training not that long ago in the Legacy Alliance group for Carly and the team, all about the ATM group. I'm not going to go into the whole process there because that's already there, but I will say, we don't have to spam. That's the beautiful thing, right? Stories sell, right? And so what stories? If you're just getting started, I was talking to someone today, like even if you don't even have your product yet, there's so many phenomenal stories in the ATM group that I feel like a lot of people forget to use those. And you can use those in multiple different ways, of course. It can be your story, of course, but we also all know not everybody is going to relate to your story. People in your network might not relate to your story. They might not relate to yours at all, but you know what? You can go in the ATM group and find some phenomenal stories. You could find 10 new ones a day to share. There's so many in there. Not to say share that many, but you get what I'm saying? There's just an unlimited amount of stories. If you're not utilizing the stories in there besides your own, I think we're missing the boat a little bit there. There's the ATM group before and after pictures. Linda's a girl that's on our team. I see her on here tonight. Like I want to give her a shout out. She does this a lot. She'll go screenshot the stories out of the ATM group. As long as they don't say, you guys, as long as they don't, be careful and watch. Some people will say, please don't share this outside of the group. Respect that. But otherwise, you can screenshot. She shares those in her stories a lot, and sold a Fab 5 off of it the other day. So using stories are huge, but do that in a variety of posts. So I'm going to go a little strategic here in just a second. My brain is very strategic when it comes to posting. I don't just use reels. I don't just use stories. I don't just use posts. I don't just use live videos. And a little secret about the algorithm on Facebook likes variety. They don't like, just nothing but reels, nothing but posts, nothing but stories. So a little bit more on the strategic side. So imagine you get the stories, but use them in different ways, right? You obviously can post product. I post products in my own like stories. I'm not talking testimony stories, but in my stories daily. And that's not really spamming. You can definitely do that on a daily basis and get away with it. Use stories daily. If you're not using reels, like get out of your comfort zone. I really want to challenge you to do a reel. It doesn't have to be talking. It'd be something crazy simple, but just something as simple as one a week, right? But sharing the products in there, same thing, the stories. Do live videos. Get out of your comfort zone on those. If you haven't done that, I challenge you to do a live. Obviously, posts work. But you also don't want to be posting product every single day, right? That's where we become spammy. But one thing that I wanted to elaborate when I say use a variety of posts, there's something that I used, and I learned this from my business coach who studies the Facebook algorithm, and I learned so much from him. We use a post called 2 steps. And all that really is everybody knows the picture, the basic post on Facebook, right? That just has the colored background. There's no pictures. We call them 2 steps. I know there's 12,000 different names for them, but when it comes to stories, and Carly or Glenn, I've got a couple that I can actually post in the team group for examples if you guys want. But when I say 2 step, I mean like just a couple sentences. Like, for example, I posted one the other day that had like 80 something comments, right? And it was just this. It was utilizing real testimonies, real stories, but it wasn't a picture. It wasn't anything. It was just the colored background that said, wow, that was fast. 2 inches down in 2 weeks. This is an example you can use like about gold. Wow, that was fast. Exclamation point emoji, make it cute. 2 inches down in 2 weeks for my favorite inflammation drink. Who wants to know more? That's it. Simple, short and sweet. There's no picture, nothing crazy. I do those honestly about once a week. You can see on my newsfeed, I do it all the time, just based on, again, results, whether it's my results, other people's results, or maybe something I saw in the group. Those are great, perfect. Those are hand raising, like people that comment or even love or like, perfect opportunity to shoot them a message. Thank you so much for loving on my post. Would you like some information on that inflammation drink that I'm talking about? And get in their inbox. It's just a perfect, simple, short and sweet, non-spammy way to get out, to post. So I will post some examples if you guys want me to. But use a variety. The algorithm, I know Glenn talks about the algorithm a lot. You guys, Facebook likes variety and not just posting all the time. Yeah. Okay, perfect, Nikki. I'll post the examples of when I say 2-step, so you guys know what I'm talking about. And that'll help. But the other thing that I wanted to elaborate, besides using a variety of posts and using stories, so those are my 2 biggest tips right there. The third thing is work the ATM group. I know I'm obsessed with the ATM group because I know it works. And I mean, we all know, and if you don't know what the ATM group, I think I saw somebody ask what it was. We can definitely elaborate. It's our a breakthrough community. It's all the testimonies. You want to know it, you want to save it, you want to pin it to the top of your favorites. And the Bravenly Insiders is the other one for business. But the testimonies inside I sold a Fab 5 today from a girl that I spoke to a couple weeks ago. She messaged me. She's been stalking the testimony. She's like, what are these people taking? I'm stuck on my weight loss. I'm trying to lose weight. And I said, this is what I recommend. And she ended up going all in for the Fab 5. Why? Because she's seeing testimonies. I didn't even follow up. I have followed up with her, obviously, but at this point, it was the testimonies that made her reach out and say, hey, girl, where do I buy? And so the ATM group, what I mean by that is don't just add people to it. Don't just invite people, but I mean, work the ATM group. It helps me a ton. And what does that mean? Obviously, it's the ATM group is add people to it, tag people in the stories, and message people. Okay. So I won't go into detail like I did in the past, but that is the first step. If somebody's wanting some information for me, I'm inviting them to the group. I'm letting them know I invited them and sent them the link. Now I'm talking to them in a messenger, finding out more about them. But once I find out more about them, tag people in the stories that can relate to them. Someone's looking for hormone, help or energy or weight loss or whatever the thing is, tag them. And I don't just mean the first day, also utilize them for follow-up. Tag them. I go in there on Fridays is follow-up Friday for me. And I go in there and I tag people in stories because I have a list. I have a list and notes next to what each person told me what their problem was. And I'll tag them in stories, follow up. But then the other thing that I want to say about the ATM group, besides truly tagging people, post in there yourself because you're adding all these people in there. Now post your own story in there. Post a picture of you and I did one the other day with just a bottle of Drive. I was talking about, my experience with the bottle of Drive. A lot of women in my network need hormone health. So post in there. I don't know if there's a limit, if the company has a limit, like maybe once a week, or once every other week, but you're adding all these people. Now let them also see you inside that group. The more testimonies in there, the better, in my personal opinion. Blow it up, use the group to your advantage, use stories. You don't have to have some amazing testimony yourself because we have so many that you can lean on. And then the last thing that I will say, and I'll turn it over to you guys, probably going longer than y'all wanted me to, I apologize. The last thing that I want to say is something that I truly love to do, especially with my entire team, is giveaways and raffles. Not to say that you have to do them all the time by any means. Like I think you can really overdo giveaways and raffle if you do them too much. But I personally like how we hit, how I was able to hit 3,500 in customer sales last month and hit, ranks and different things on the other side. We did raffles and occasionally I'll do them for our team where I just give a product raffle. Now, in order to get in the raffles, you've just you got to purchase, you know, so it entices your entire network to go purchase. Plus it gives you another reason to reach out to your leads. You know, hey, you and I have talked about a product in the past. Guess what? I'm actually doing a raffle for anybody that orders this weekend. Are you thinking about ordering the product yet? Because you could win my raffle. Little things like that. That's stuff that I personally love to do, you know, with my entire team to also help them grow and also have them, you know, have a reason. And then obviously I advertise that in stories, posts, conversations, and all the things. So that's all I got. Glenn, I'll turn that back over to you.
And I kind of didn't want you to stop learning so much. Hey, thank you, Angela. We appreciate it. Those are very great tips. I took a lot of notes. I will be utilizing these myself. Thank you. So now I'm going to turn it over to Siobhan Brown, who's been the top PBV leader on my team pretty much every single month. She's absolutely incredible. She leads by example. She's crushing it. So I'm excited to hear from you, Siobhan, with a V, not B.
Thank you. So Angela, that was amazing. And we're definitely, we're on the same page with a lot of this. And so I'm not going to go over some of the stuff she already talked about. So we can talk about some new things. But the thing with customers, you guys, it's kind of the people always say, and I talk about this is not the first time I've said this. People are like, what is the secret sauce? How do you get all these customers, Siobhan? Like every month, what is happening? They're like, what's the secret? And when I tell people like the secret is them, or in this case, the secret is me. And it's about how I position and posture myself when it comes to these products. And so I am a walking testimony of what we have here. And this is me personally. So if it's not your story, that's fine. You can borrow mine, right? Until you have your own. But I make sure that when I'm sharing about the products, I'm not just talking about, people can read the list of ingredients, that's fine, but they're going to relate to how it's making you feel and what it's done for you. So the big thing with when sharing always is just it's posture. You have to know that what you're talking about is like the best thing that you've ever taken. And that needs to come across because people are going to get excited about that. And really just like let them know how it made you feel. Like, how did you feel before? Like when we talk about posting, how did you feel before and how do you feel now? Right. And it could be something as simple as, oh my gosh, I just slept. Like I'm going to use the 2-step thing that you just did, Angela. And this is recording. So I'm going to remember, I can go back. Mine's going to be, oh my gosh, I just slept through the night. Right. For the first, well, I've been sleeping through the night, but I could say like I've been sleeping through the night for the past month or whatever, because I didn't sleep before. And why didn't I sleep before? I didn't sleep before because my energy during the day sucked. And so I was overtired and exhausted. I just couldn't sleep. I couldn't fall asleep, all of the things, right? But that gives me an opening to talk to people. People joke about this with me though. For me, I go live on my stories after I go to the gym because I feel the best at that point in time. So you might feel your best in the evening. You might feel your best in the afternoon. Whenever you are feeling like I feel like $1,000,000, show up on your stories and talk about your products. When I started doing this, I was in a wellness business before this, and every single day I showed me taking my products. I did not miss a day. Every day I was drinking this green drink every single day. And when I switched and came here and I was showing a new green drink, people were like, what are you doing? And my point to that is consistency over time. This is a long game. This is a marathon. This is not a sprint. So you've got to show up every single day using the products. People want to know that they work. People want to know that you like them. People want to know that they taste good. They want to know that, people are following you because they like you, they know you, and they trust you. And that's why they're going to buy from you, because you continue to show up every day and you do that. So my challenge is it's not a reel, because actually, Angela, that one freaked me out. I am like so reel adverse. But I'm going to take your challenge. I'm going to do it. But for me, I'm going to challenge there's 35 of us on this call. Tomorrow, at some point in the day, film yourself taking a product. It can be as simple as sometimes in the morning, I just hold up, like I've got my hand out. I take a picture in the dark because it's like 5 a.m. and I take a picture of my dynamic duo. It's my Drive and my Ignite, and I'm off to the gym. That could be it. I come home, I make my coffee. Talk about how it tastes, how it makes me feel. Just show up using the product and be consistent with it over time. So that's the posture piece of it. Carly talks about this, but it's really important. When I bring on a new brand partner, I don't even talk about bringing on, how about them getting new brand partners? I talk about the success steps, and they're written this way in order on purpose. It's 4 4 ambassadors or retail customers, 402. So 4 customers, 400 PBV, and 2 brand partners. And that's on purpose, because in order to rank, you guys, you have to have 2 people ordering that month. So if you front load your business with customers, because we have a lot of happy customers that reorder month after month after month, when it's your time to rank up, you're not in this like, oh crap, I don't have 2 customers, I'm not going to rank up, right? And so when I bring people on, that's the first thing we do. And what we've been doing, and what I do is when I sponsor people, is I send samples out on their behalf. So that is something kind of new, me personally, that I'm trying with the few girls that I have that have just joined me. So I will keep you posted on the statistics of how well that went. But what that does, right? We get people products in their hands. This is whether you sample on your own or not, but then you start a chat, you have a conversation going, you already have that 3-way chat open, and they're either going to buy products because they're going to fall in love with them, or they're going to join you in business, right? But it's the communication, it's the keeping that open. Breakthrough group, I'm not going to talk about, but the only thing I'm going to say is anytime anyone shows any interest, you have any kind of conversation, you run into somebody at the grocery store, you're at the gym, anything, get them in the breakthrough group, because I will tell you this, it has upsold every single one of my customers, because they get in there and they see that someone else is using the gold. They don't have that yet. Right. And they're like, Siobhan, I need that. And all of it. Like, I have this one lady, I'm not even joking. She just orders like crazy because she finds people who are using products, and now she uses everything, right? She would just slowly start adding things. And I didn't have that conversation with her. She did. So use the group. It's there for you. Just like Angela said, that is your biggest tool. If you're not utilizing it, you're really just missing out. I also personally, because I've got a lot of customers now, I have a customer VIP chat on Facebook, and it's not a chat I'm active in every day. And I told them that to begin with. I said, this is not a chat I'm not going to blow you up, but it's a reminder of things we have going on. Like, the gold is now coming in scoops, just so you know. This is what it looks like to order it, or the coffee is going to be going out. We're rebranding it. We're reformulating it. You might want to catch up with that. And that just leads into the customer service side of this, because if you don't follow up with your customers on a regular basis, they're not going to stay, right? They want to know that you care and they weren't just a sale. And so then you're going to get to know them. You're going to build that relationship, and they just might turn into a brand partner. Chelsea on this call, Chelsea Winkler, she has been a customer since November. She is a brand partner now, right? And she just hit the 400 club, like her first day on the job, because she built her belief in the products. That's why people are going to join us here. What can I say? Oh, one last thing, and then I will turn it over because we have a lot of other stuff going on. But remember this, you guys, when you're building your business, you have a hand in your own rank. That is a very big part of this comp plan that I didn't truly understand until I was going for executive director. And Glenn was like, you can use like all your customer volume towards that. And I was like, what? That's crazy, you guys. You could sell, I keep wanting to curse on this call, and I'm really trying hard not to. You could sell the crap out of these products, and you could put every single point towards your rank up. You don't have to rely on your team. Your team doesn't have to buy your rank. You can be like, I want this. I'm going for it. And you set a goal, you achieve it. You get to use all of that. So just remember, like, be confident in what we have here. Posture yourself as these are the best products, which they are, that anyone's going to be using. And don't be scared to talk to people, you guys. The worst someone is going to say is no, but the only way they can say no is if you ask them. Otherwise, it's automatically no. So the ball is in your court. Evelyn, who's on this call too, I want to shout her out real quick. This girl, she loves the turmeric. She loves the gold. And I don't think she goes a day without talking to a lot of people about it. And she's killing it with her customer game. Why? Because she believes in it. So I think that's it. There's tons more. I'm going to do a training on this in the Legacy Alliance group at some point. So thank you for having me. Love you guys. Go sell some products. Actually, don't sell, just share, and then people buy. That's kind of how it works. Okay, bye.
Hey, thank you, Siobhan. That was incredible, as I knew it would be. Man, y'all's tips put together, that's money right there. Thank you. So real quick, I'm gonna have Suzanne Moultrie share for a couple of minutes on pop-up posts, guys. A lot of people say, you know, I don't have a network. Most of you may not know that you can use pop-up posts to get into other people's networks, and they've proven effective. Mine and Angela's former company, we call those referral posts. Like literally half of the volume in Modere comes from referral posts. So I feel like they're really effective and we should start using them a little more. Suzanne, I know for sure she hit the 2K club last month. She may have hit the 3K club, but she got a lot of points from doing pop-up posts. So that being said, I'm going to have Suzanne quickly share some tips and tricks on the pop-up post.
Well, thanks, Glenn, for asking me to be on. You know, thanks for leaving me towards the end so that I can like sweat it out, right? Because this is my first time doing this. But anyway, it's an honor to be here and talk about pop-up posts. I had no idea what a pop-up post was until I was in the Dash to Director group back in March. And if you're not in the Dash to Director group, it's a separate Facebook group that Ashley Walmer put together for those that needed to hit director. And in March, I was going for director. And matter of fact, day 19, she had us do a pop-up post. And you can also go into, if you're not in the Dash to Director group, if you go into the Bravenly Nation and search pop-up posts, there's training videos there, there's examples in there. But basically what it is you tap into your friends, your customers, people who love the product, and you ask them, hey, would you mind, you know, doing a post for me on, for instance, Rush. I had a friend of mine, I asked her if she would, you know, she loves the Rush, that was the new Rush Extreme. So I asked her if she wouldn't mind doing a post. And of course she said yes. So I said, okay, great. Why don't I give you, I'll give you the image, I'll give you the verbiage. And all of this is in that Dash to Director Day 19 task. So it was all done for us. So I said, okay, I'll give you the verbiage, I'll give you the post, you post it on your wall, and that's what she did. So then I waited and I just waited until the you know, people commented, and on everybody who commented or liked, loved, whatever, I friend requested each one of them. And then I got into their messenger, and then I asked, you know, I said, thanks for the, you know, the support, you know, you commented on this. Then I started to ask questions with these people. And, you know, lo and behold, we had, you know, it was like Rush that I was trying to promote, but this one particular customer, I found out that she had RA. So I started to get in a little bit deeper as to, you know, what else she needed. So I gave her some images of some things that I thought that, you know, would benefit her. And she ended up ordering $200. I also had told her that I was going to incentivize my friend. And I also told her that I was going to incentivize her. You don't have to do that. That was just something that was suggested in the pop-up, in the Dash to Director. So I did. and she's been a repeat customer since March. And I did the same thing with gold, with another friend. I didn't get a whole lot of action on that one in March, but in April, somebody asked my friend about the gold. My friend gave them samples. She became a customer and she's ordered several times. I've gotten 3 new ambassadors from pop-up posts. So they work. And I always keep a pop-up post in my back pocket because I haven't done one this month, but I will, because they work every single time, you know? So I'm trying to think, I think that might be, oh, the other thing too, is I always add them to the breakthrough group. So all the people that commented on every, you know, on those pop-up posts, I added them to the breakthrough group. I didn't just add them. I mean, I talked to them and I said, hey, this is a great, you know, place to see testimonies. If you go in and you search RA, you might see all of the other people who have the same condition, and then you can, you know, find value with them. So, so that worked out well too. So I was really surprised. There's even in the Dash to Director wording on how to respond to these people. So I'm imagining that it's in the Bravenly Nation as well. But I started looking at the verbiage and I was like, you know what, I need to be me. So that's what I had to be me in the conversation because I froze. So don't be afraid to just be you, you know? So I think that's it. I think as far as pop-up posts. So thank you.
Thank you, Suzanne. I'm glad you brought that to my attention because, like I said, when me and Angela was in our previous venture together, I mean, people would hit 15,000 in customer volume, and it wasn't from their network. It was because, you know, they would have either their own customers do, we call them referral posts or pop-up posts, or having somebody do you a favor and like trade posts and stuff like that. But thank you very much. Heather also brought up a good point. It's in the boards app too, like that might be an easy way to find it. But thank you, Suzanne. That was amazing. I knew you'd crush it.
Thank you.
Super proud of you. So yeah, I'm gonna start doing those once a month. I'm just gonna pick a day, and that's gonna be once a month. I'm gonna start doing those and start building through other people's networks. So I'm just gonna talk for about
give it a
4
try.
minutes real quick. Yeah, I'm just gonna talk for like 4 minutes real quick, and then I'll turn it over to Carly. But I brought this up to Carly. So I asked Brittany Beck, I said, hey, what is it that mine and Carly's organization, like what are our strengths and what are our weaknesses? You know, what are we not doing versus like some of the other teams like in the company? But one of the things she said is like our team is weak in getting customers. It's not because we want to be weak. I feel like we all could like dominate there. But she said we are one of the top recruiting teams in the entire company. And that's great. We have a very phenomenal strength in recruiting. But I'm telling you, like if we all doubled our customer volume or shop for maybe the 1200 club, dude, you guys could probably 10x the volume that you have on your team. Imagine everybody that you've recruited. How many people? Drop a number in the chat of your personal recruits if you want to. You don't have to if you don't want to. But imagine if they all had just at the 1200 club, not the 2K club, the 1200 club, like where would your volume be at? So it only takes 8 people in your entire organization to hit the 1200 club for you to get to executive director. That's not a lot of people, like 8 people. I saw somebody put 33. You would be vice president and a half, like whoever put 33 down there. If they all just hit the 1200 club, the bare bones minimum, you know, that's like 5 Fab 5 bundles, right? And I put down here 24 people hitting the 1200 club in your entire organization, not just your front line. It can be anywhere and you'd be vice president, right? So I challenge all of you to start leading by example. like I'm not very good at getting customers because I don't focus on that. But I've only gotten below the 1200 club once. I try to always lead by example. Gotten 2K club a couple times. I'm better at recruiting. But believe it or not, when I was in Advocare, I never had below 6,000 in personal sales. And 1 month I had 35,000 in personal sales. I can do it if I want to. But I just want to throw that out there. Then like I was telling somebody earlier, I mean, that's $300 to $500 a month guaranteed if you hit the 1200 club, right? But here's another thing. The enroller bonus, the compensation plan, the enroller bonus pays 6%. It's higher than the level bonus. It's higher than the director bonus, and it's higher than the vice president bonus. Why am I bringing up the enroller bonus? Where does that money come from? It comes from your first and second generation's PBV. So if our first and second generation bring their PBV up to 700, 1200, or 2K, your check is going to double because your people are hitting in the PBVs, right? Like we don't even think about that, but you guys and myself included is missing out on a ton of volume. So I just want to challenge you guys, like Siobhan talked about earlier, just do the success steps, get your 2 recruits, but let's try to shoot for 4 ambassadors or customers. So I just want to touch on a couple of things. They've already talked about, like, whenever you're talking to people, let's say that they want like a certain product. Well, ask them what all of their goals are so you can upsell them. Just like Angela said earlier, Linda was scared to lead with the Fab Five because and just like a lot of us do, we prejudge our customers. Like, they're not going to want to spend the money on the Fab Five. Dude, Randy and Andrew sells Fab Fives like it's hotcakes or Girl Scout cookies. Like, they do what you lead with. If you suggest, like, hey, this is what's going to get you to the holy grail of weight loss and better energy and all that stuff, that's what they're going to lead with. That's 240 points. It only takes 5 Fab Fives to get over the 1200 club. So lead with that, and then you can always fall back and we can work with that. Don't forget to tell your ambassadors. Have you told every ambassador that has enrolled that we have an affiliate program that they can share their link? Do all of your ambassadors know they can share their link and get free product credits and cash? If they don't, make sure to go back and let them know. When you guys enroll people, do you automatically tell them about the Easy Ship? Like, I don't even hardly, like, I do bring on customers, but I always hit the 1200 club because I have 7 people that are diehard Easy Ship, even if they just put 1 product in there. And that's a ton of product credits. So make sure they always know about that. Sometimes we think they're going to be scared of the Easy Ship. Okay. Just make sure that you tell everybody about that. Here's another tip. Everybody that I've ever gotten as a customer, and I want you guys to write this down, and please do this from this day forward. Did you just want to get the products, or were you also open to earning extra income? Or are you open to earning extra income? So please ask that question. Never prejudge people. When I go back to my first company, there was a lady that had a mansion and a Hummer, right? You're like, oh man, that lady probably has her stuff together, but you know what she was eating at night? Ramen noodles. Okay, we never know what people are going through. So, and look, if you lead with the opportunity, you can fall back on the product. So we want to make sure that we're talking about both. Just like Angela said, let's provide good customer service. When your people, do you tell them to let you tell you whenever they get their products in the mail? Day 5, are you asking them like how they're doing? Like, they probably, a lot of people, if they have a hiccup on day 3, they just quit completely. So let's please start doing good, customer service, following up with, day 3, day 10, day 15, whatever it is. So customer service. Me and Kristen Manassian was talking about product credits. She has in her organization over $4,500 in product credits that people aren't even using. And I highly recommend you guys get the back office pro app if you haven't done that yet, so you can check these extra reports. But I probably have over 50,000 in free customer volume or free product credits in my organization, right? And so, and like Kristen was saying the other day, you message these people, and yes, product credits do not count as volume. We know that, but they're going to order more than just the product credits that they have. They're going to order a little bit extra, and it costs cheaper. So guess what? You're going to have a repeat customer. They're going to stay on the products. Who cares that the volume is 20 points lower? because they're happy customers, they're getting a discount, they're saving money. So we need to definitely need to focus on that. Here's another tip that I was taught in the last product training. You can go in your back office and you can see what your customers have ordered, right? Go see what they ordered. And if they've only ordered 3 products and you have samples of other products they haven't used, say, hey, look, I saw that you've used Gold and Balance. Hey, guess what? I'm going to send you some Rush Extreme, some Rush, you know, some Glow Girl. I think that you could really use this. And I've had people that I've sent those to, and then they end up ordering more products. So that's definitely a tip that you guys can do. Consistency is key, you know, following up to like get customers. And I always say this ratio, you know, 80% of all yeses happen between the 5th and 12th contact. You know, 48% of the time you guys aren't going to follow up a second time. Somebody talked about sharing stories. I think that was Siobhan. Guys, be a product of the product. Like the best seller that there is out there is yourself. Randy Paul shows his before and after picture like crazy, and he sells Fab Fives like crazy. So let's all take, yes, let's take the products correctly, but let's, you know, let's cut back on the fast foods like a little bit. Like let's drink more water. Let's get to the gym and get ourselves a better testimony, and then share others. I know we're almost done here, so I'm going to close it with just a couple things and then turn it over to Carly. Guys, there's 12 days left in the month. Most volume, over 50% of the volume in each month comes from the 20th to the 30th. If you count if you've already said, you know what, I've had a slow month, this month sucks. Most volume, 50% of the volume happens in the last 10 days of the month. So don't count yourself out. Let's all close this month out strong. Last month in June and July was like super massive. So let's close this month out strong. I just want to talk about a couple events, and then I'll turn it over to Carly. July 22nd, I would love to see all of your smiling faces at Ricky Durant's house on July 22nd. Like, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking for a couple of volleyball teammates. He has like a large pool, and just lots of fun. Barbecue. Aspen's going to be there. So definitely try to get there if you guys can. Guys, try to get to senior director before June 19th. I have a special guest that has done GoPro. And if you guys don't know what GoPro is, Eric Worre is like that with all of the network marketing professionals that people pay thousands of dollars, is going to be training our organization senior directors and above. So make senior director a goal before then. And then September, I don't remember the dates, 21st or something like that. Executive director school in Florida. So we definitely want to get there. If you love Boost Brew coffee, it's almost sold out. So I would highly recommend you go get some if you love that. And I'll turn it over to you, Carly. I'm done.
The coffee.
Thanks so much, Glenn. Yeah, that senior director call, you guys, if you're not senior director, you've got people on your team that aren't there, you're going to want to be on that call. It's going to be really good. Last senior director call we had, you guys, was amazing. It was small and close knit, but I felt like we really formed a bond and really helped people grow. So that's a huge thing. So super, super proud of all of you. Suzanne, I loved when you were talking about the script part earlier, and you were saying that you froze with the script and you just had to be yourself. I feel like there's so much great advice today, but you guys listen to that right there. Take that with you. Be yourself. Be transparent with who you are. Sometimes we need a script, but sometimes if it doesn't feel like us, be you. I remember back in the day, I was with Arbonne. I don't usually talk about it because I didn't really take it serious, but I remember doing these parties where they gave us these books. We had to read them one page at a time, right? We had to go through these big old books, and I would just go through it, and it was just drudgery. And I just remember some of the women were kind of sitting there laughing. It was boring. And I just stopped right there, and I was like, done. I'm going to do it my way. And I was taught, don't go off script, make it duplicatable. Well, you want to know something? I like it when we're us, and we can't be duplicated. We're not little robots. So at the end of the day, I just was me. And you know what? All of a sudden, I sold some overpriced skincare real fast because people bought from me. They didn't care about my script or my book or how duplicatable it looked. They wanted to connect to real people. So Suzanne, thank you for that nugget. I want to hear from you guys. We don't have a ton of time left, but this is, I like these chats because I like them to be interactive. So Does anyone have anything that they want to share? Any customer tips, any questions? I want to open it up to you guys. You can just unmute, raise your hand, whatever.
I have
Alright.
one thing to add, actually, if that's okay. And Glenn kind of touched on this too, but if we lead a conversation within our head, thinking about the price objection of the person we're talking to, I can guarantee you they're not going to buy anything. And so what I say to people when I'm having a conversation is I just put it out there. I just lay out the money right at the beginning. I said, look, I never prejudge somebody with how much money they have or are willing to spend on their health and their wellness. So this is the bundle I would go with. This will do everything that you need it to do. If that doesn't work for you, we can talk about other options. And I think that's why Randy and Andrew are able to lead with, and even Angela, like the Fab Five all the time, because they just assume you can afford it. Just go with that assumption, because if you're limiting yourself when you go in with that kind of mindset, because I just wanted to put that out there, because that is a shift I made, and I noticed when I did that I had more success in getting more people to be willing to invest in themselves.
That's a great point, Siobhan. Hold on, I got to mute.
Yeah, I redid it because it wasn't.
That's okay. Okay, Siobhan, you know what? When I first joined my first company, and I was always scared because I was like, who wants to buy a $130 shake, right? Like, that's what I thought in my head. I didn't sell a whole lot of them. And you know what, to be honest, like, the truth is that when I went into any business and I was thinking, oh, this is too expensive, I got price objections all the time. Do you want to know what I never get anymore? Price objections, like, ever. Like, I never get them. And I think it's because I'm so confident in what we have, and I come across in such a way that, you know, I mean, there's people like, hey, I got to save a month, right? Or, you know, but I never get like, oh, that's too expensive, I don't want it. I used to, but it has so much of it has to do with our energy. People can feel our energy. So I'm glad you mentioned that. That was good. Andrew, 68 ambassadors. 68. Okay, Andrew's not an influencer, you guys. Like, he literally, like, he's 68 ambassadors. I just want you guys to let that sink in. Like, you're a rock star, and Kristen Lopez with your 33 brand partners. Like, you guys, like, phenomenal job. I just have to call you out. And I know there's other people with huge numbers in here, Shelly. I see your face. I know you've got a ton of brand partners, sister. So I just, you know, you guys are doing big things. And I'm really, really proud of you. And you guys didn't come in as like these big, huge, like, I've been, you know, leader of network marketing for 14 years. Like, you normal people coming in here doing big things. Let that sink in. I'm really proud of you. Andrew, you need to do a training on that. One thing real quick I want to mention, and there again, if anyone wants to pop in and say something, you know, you can do that as well. But I was talking to somebody today, and they said that they were in the customer testimony group, and they're like, it's just like weight loss. They said, because I don't have a weight loss story. And I just took a pause, and I'm like, no, we're a health and wellness brand. And so weight loss sells. So if you guys have weight loss testimonies, please put those in there. Like, don't, you know, share them, because they work so well. But at the same time, I want to challenge you guys, like, and I think it was, who is it? Oh gosh, Angela, I think you're the one that shared it, that we want to post in that group a lot. And I'm challenging you guys, if you have a weight loss testimony, share it, because it works and we appreciate them. But if you have testimonies and stories that are not weight loss, can we get those in that group? Can we get that in the customer testimony group? Because, you know, that's powerful. And a lot of people are looking at this opportunity, and they're looking at this saying, hey, maybe I don't have weight to lose. Or maybe I struggle to lose weight and I feel like I can't show up and promote this until I've got my weight loss story. Like, that's not it, you guys. And so I'm just encouraging you guys, if you have a story that's not with weight loss, let's go ahead and get those in there too. It's really powerful for all of us to build. I'm going to mute again. I never told you guys they're unmuting, because it's usually mute.
Should have an email.
There we go. Okay. Anyway, all that to say, I would love to see more of that in there, because I want the weight loss in there. I was telling this person, I said, the truth is these deal with the root cause of issues. So it's not our fault. So many people are losing weight. It's a side effect that we love, right? It's phenomenal. But at the same time, I think that, just having some more diversity of what this does for health, that's just so powerful. And our two top sellers, we got two girls who are always neck and neck for the top sellers of this entire organization, Siobhan and Candace, and neither of them are necessarily running with like weight loss stories at all. They're running with health. So just something I wanted to kind of plant a seed with. So anyone else have any thoughts? I see Heather on here. I always love hearing from you, sister, if you have anything to say.
I don't know if my brain works yet, but I am outside because I've been able to like feel about 60% better than I have the last 5 days. I'm like, I don't even know what the heck happened. But the only thing I would say is, first of all, I love that we have so many people that are just practical, because we need practical things, right? Like, okay, like what am I supposed to do today? Like sometimes I need like a checklist because I can't think. But the other side of it, and I know Siobhan kind of went into this in our senior director and above call, is mindset. And y'all kind of talked about it a little bit when it comes to objectives that you get is really based on what you are thinking, right? But the reality is that, and I'm speaking to myself, just as a FYI, everybody on this call, Heather is confessing, I am a vice president with Bravenly, and y'all are gonna die. Are y'all ready for a real confession right now? Because look, you can either take this as like, oh, wow, I'm like so much better than her. Or you can take this as like, okay, I can relate to her, right? So whatever you want to do to take it. But I have 0 customer volume right now. We're mid-month. I have rock stars on my team that are leading in customer sales, right? But I know why I don't have customer volume. I'm not trying to pretend why I don't have customer volume. It's about to change. And this is me also giving myself accountability here. Because I have a lot of limiting beliefs around health products. I've been in this industry for like 12 years. I've always known how to fuel my body with food, and I understand proper supplementation, and I understand the importance of that. And it doesn't come from my own beliefs. It's more of me being in this industry and having customers and dealing with customers. Like, I mean, the reality is sometimes it's just hard. It's annoying. It's very complicated. But all that to say, I've always said, I don't want to deal with that. Like, I would rather bring a brand partner in and help them run and do Zoom calls and do all this, that's not a place where I want to spend my time. But I know it's part of your business, right? We have to do things that we don't want to do. But the other side of it is that if your mindset is right, it's not a chore. And so when we went to our leaders retreat in Montana, and I got to hear all the testimonies about what these products were doing for the people sitting in the room, the people that I knew. No, it's no brainer that, Randy can sell, or Andrew can share. It's really sharing these Fab Fives and these products, because they're taking it every day, and the testimonies that they have for themselves, like, they will shout it from the rooftops because it's life-changing. And I've never been with a company that really truly had life-changing products. I mean, we said they were, we talked about them. They looked real good on a product label, right? But when it came to really partnering with a woman and a naturopath and a team of corporate people that really do care about life-changing breakthrough products, it's a different space. And so when you are just out of that, I'm more of like a building, and I don't want to think about customers. But what I saw this past week before I got sick was really my fire and passion to share with people and just health, because there's a lot of people that will never join us in this business. But there's in that number, there's a lot of people that need the products that we have. And we're doing ourselves a disservice if we don't show up in that space. And so am I here to tell y'all that I'm going to do a reel, every day and post my stories about me taking my product every day? Probably not right away. But I do feel like when your mindset is set in the right space to know what you have and to share it, it literally becomes more of, it's natural. It just is who you are. It's not what you do, it's who you are. And so I would just ask, all of us, like, what maybe if there's areas that you're struggling with in your business, maybe it's customers, maybe it's brand partners, what are the limiting beliefs? Because there's something behind it. And that space really will keep you stuck. And you can hear all day long the practical things that you should do, but you're never going to do it. And so I'm just encouraged by, everybody that shared tonight. Of course, I'm still, other than my sickness, I'm still on a high from all the people that I got to connect with at our retreat and just hear about their real testimonies that they're experiencing and tears and real life-changing things, right? And so I'm just excited to kind of, now that I'm starting to feel a little bit better and we're having, some things that we're plugging into, really getting out there and using our resources that corporate has and everybody's it's all out there for us to use. We don't have to recreate the wheel. I know I was talking to Siobhan a little bit about what we're going to start doing just to help our people value this part of the comp plan, but value this huge platform to be able to help people in their health. Because the truth is we really, really, really do have something that will help them. My father-in-law is, and this is not compliant, but my father-in-law is completely off 7 medications. And now me, because I'm just, I rather like just give people stuff, and you can't do that to grow a business, by the way. If that's probably why I don't have customer sales too, is because I just give product away. So that's a whole nother thing. But the other side of it is that he's off of 7 medications from being on this. He doesn't take any pills. He just takes the 5 drinks. And for the last 3 months, he went to his doctor, and of course they're like, oh, everything looks good. And he's like, well, I haven't taken my medicine for the last 3 months. And they're like, what? And so he shared what he was doing. And so, and my mom has seen incredible results. She's taken every single product that I've ever supported in this industry. And she's never seen the results until now. And so I have the people around me. It's just a matter of, reminding yourself, getting your mindset right on, I do have something real. It's not hype. And it's not fake, and it's not just to get a little commission off of you. Because at this point in my life, that's not what I'm doing it for, right? So that's it. I hope that added a little bit value. Maybe you felt better about yourself, and that if that's what you got from it, that's great too. But I just wanted to share a little bit around the mindset, because I think that's so important.
Heather, that was so good. And we're going to finish up, you guys. Kristen, I did see your hand up. So if you want to finish, I'm just going to say something real quick. And if you want to end it for us, or if you had to go, that's fine too. But I do want to just like jump in. And Heather, thank you for sharing. Heather is like literally like my therapist. Even though she gets me really sick, and then I just read my bathroom with self-tanner because of that sickness, I still love you. But no, the reality is that she's got so much wisdom. And as you were talking, Heather, you were talking about mindset and those hiccups, right? And I'm like Heather, I do have some customer volume, but not a lot. Like I used to be a super seller. At my last company, my first year, I had well over 300 personal customers. Okay, I don't have anywhere near that this time, yet our product is better. But I'll tell you what happened. And when she was talking about mindset issue, she's like, I don't want to deal with the customers. And we ended up having an ingredient shift. And we went from a product that people liked that literally made people ill and made them sick. Talk about some PTSD. And I was like I can't even tell you, I was dealing with my customers, my team's customers. It was a fiasco, you guys. And all I could think about when she's saying that, I'm like, you know what? It's a mindset thing. I'm not running with product, because I have this mindset thing of I don't want to deal with the hassle. I'd much rather deal with the team. But that doesn't apply here. I was talking to Brittany the other day and we were talking about the difference of Bravenly and what would come from. If you come from other companies, you're going to get that. She's like, it's so cool because we don't have to hold things together here with duct tape. We don't have to hold it together with duct tape. So if those of you that have been in another company where it's been a disaster and you're literally trying to hold the pieces together, that's not what it is here. So we're taking our baggage from past experiences and making it so we are hindering ourselves, leaders included. Heather is a VP. She's in the top, 1% of the company, and she's confessing that she has no volume. I'm the top rank in the company, and I'm confessing my customer sales suck. Why? Probably have a little PTSD, right? We're not exempt. Can I just say though, how cool is it that we can be in a Zoom like this and we can confess and be honest, and we're not sitting here like, we're doing this and we're pretending to do this and you guys, no, we're all just people working together to build a business together, and it's real. And I love it. So Heather, thank you for that therapy session. I don't know what I owe you, but I'll send you a Venmo later for that. I'm just kidding. Totally kidding, but I appreciate you, sister. Okay, so I don't know. Okay, Kristen, are you able to pop on and you can just close us off tonight? Perfect.
Okay, guys, it was meant to be for me to close it out. So I just want to say this, especially with what Carly and Heather said. Let's not let our insecurities bleed onto other people, because when we do that, we're making it a disservice to our customers, because what we truly have here is phenomenal products. I cannot speak like the rest of these ladies because I did not come from a health and wellness company. So the products that we have here are phenomenal. And I think that I was here for a reason, and it's the best of the best. So please just leave it with that. I'm closing with that. Do not let your insecurities bleed onto other people, because it's just doing them a disservice. So thank you all for being on tonight. So amazing. So many notes. Love you all. I hope you all have a great Thursday and look forward to seeing you guys next week.